I'm not particularly good at PvP, and I haven't really played in 3 years, but obviously there's a lot of situations in PvE, especially in a loot sense, where even if you're primarily a PvE player, you definitely want to play some PvP if there's ever like a really good gun in Trials or a really good gun in Iron Banner that you want to get. So my goal here is to be your student right now and have you teach me so that, you know, maybe I'm not going to be the best PvP player ever, but my PvP experiences will be significantly more bearable. And, you know, my journeys to like try and get this flawless loot or Iron Banner loot is going to be a lot more quick. And I'm hoping that through you teaching me, other people will be able to watch this and also take some things home with themselves, fundamentals that they can use, simple things from, you know, when to push, when to use abilities, to more detailed things like what abilities are the best, how to play on certain maps, things of that nature, right? So first things first, who are you and why are you qualified to teach me or anyone else how to be good at PvP and how to go flawless in Trials?
So I have been playing Destiny since the very beginning. I always was very much involved in the PvP side. I joined one of the big PvP clans, had a big history in sort of like the Destiny tournament and scrim scene. I sort of transitioned into making some content of my own, some educational, some just gameplay related and vibing. But a big thing with regards to like teaching and explaining my thought process was my 1v3 series. I think a lot of people naturally in PvP panic when they are at a disadvantage. So I made a series where I kind of broke down decision making, why I do things I do, all while trying to queue 1v3. I ended up going flawless doing that, and my content, at least on the YouTube side of things, started picking up, and I've been making somewhat educational PvP videos since. Kind of made myself very comfortable playing all 3 classes. I broke that series down into episodes where I kind of would do 1v3 trials on every different class in the game because everybody has a different playstyle and everyone wants to be able to take notes on one specific playstyle. You know, it's not super helpful for a Strand Titan main if they're watching my solo Warlock gameplay every video. So I kind of just forced myself to broaden my horizons and learn a lot more about the game, different weapons, different builds.
Perfect.
And yeah.
First things first, let's talk about the Hunter subclass department. What kind of Hunter subclasses are relevant in today's meta? What kind of things are working?
I personally, when I play Hunter, I like playing Blade Barrage. I love trip mines or solar nades. They have really good utility with those nades. The throwing knives take a bit of time to get used to, but the heavy throwing knives giving you a one hit and giving you radiant is super, super strong. Probably since you were last playing a lot of PvP, the whole tiered super cooldown stuff happened. So I'm sure as you see, when you come into our streams, you see us complaining about bubbles and wells. The next closest thing Hunter has is Blade Barrage. Blade Barrage is the fastest, which is obviously going to be a direct counter to a bubble or a well if you do manage to get it.
Interesting.
Definitely
so
have to be getting more kills, but yeah.
Let's start out with the Blade Barrage angle then, because of a very relevant thing in today's meta is things like Well of Radiance and Titan Bubbles. Let's go with the thing that beats the very relevant meta things. So obviously we're going to go Blade Barrage in an aspect capacity. What are we feeling? Feel like generally speaking, you would want to go with Knock 'em Down because it's going to give you more knives. It's going to give you your throwing knife back if you get a final blow with it while you're radiant, which, like you said previously, the weighted throwing knife is pretty strong. Yeah, because that's going to one hit with a precision hit, right? I'm assuming we want Gambler's Dodge because it covers a little bit more distance and it's going to give us our throwing knife back if we miss it.
Yeah.
Great.
Gambler's Dodge has a much better PvP animation and you have a lot more control of your movement while using it in comparison to Marksman's Dodge.
Okay, as far as grenades go, you mentioned Trip Mine. Is there any angle for any other grenade in any other situation depending on playstyle? Or is Trip Mine universally just always going to be the go-to?
There is definitely angles. I mean, Healing Nade is always going to be absurdly strong. Like, if you had to tier list it, I would put Healing Nade S tier, 100%. Trip Mine S tier as well, because I think once you feel comfortable using them, you know how to put it on a wall. You can effectively like hit people around corners with them. You can stick reses with them. They do a massive chunk of damage and apply a damage over time with the Scorch. So I think Trip Mine's.
So you're thinking
an offensive nade, Trip Mine would be my favorite, but Healing is obviously probably a safer, more defensive option, but you're pretty much guaranteed to get value out of it.
So if you're just kind of starting out and you're really trying to win, maybe Healing Nade is the more ease of use one, whereas you kind of work your way up to getting really good with Trip Mine and getting quick play and things of that nature, and then you get a little bit better with that. So with Solar Hunter, what exotic is generally regarded as top tier? Maybe what are the best 1 or 2?
I think it depends on the player. For me, I'm very heavy on movement, so Stompies have always been my go-to as a Hunter player.
Even still, regardless of all the nerfs.
Still. So they got nerfed and they kind of got brought back.
So I'm gonna give those a try. So in terms of stats, you said recovery is number 1. What would you say is my 2 and 3?
In the current version of PvP, there's almost sort of damage gates, right? And your resilience depends on what of those you want to survive.
So in today's sandbox, where are those marks at right now?
Most people, myself included, are running 7 as the
Okay.
main PvP resilience.
And what is being at 7? What's the main thing that being at 7 resilience protects us from?
It should be double head body from a 120. Igneous is unbelievably popular right now.
Okay.
So being able to survive head body from a 120.
Perfect.
Very nice.
Okay.
So we're working a 7-7-10 or 7-3. I think that's pretty good. Some people prioritize discipline a bit more than that, but Hunter definitely has the worst time making a build right now, just because you do still need that mobility.
Great. Well, there's the mod spread. Here's the weapons, subclass, and stats. I think we're ready to go. So now we're gonna figure out like how we're actually putting this all to use, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. All right, so we have a warlock sniping. They have a hunter with a shotgun and a hand cannon. And they have a hunter with double primary and omnioculus. So
Okay.
if we hear an invis, we keep in mind they're very likely going to have damage resistance. We probably aren't 3-tapping them if they're invis.
Taking a step back from nitty-gritty stuff, and I kind of heard you talking about this earlier today, so I think it's a good place to start the conversation. What would you say is the most like fundamentally important thing that you can do playing PvP?
I think the generic answer a lot of people would give you is play your life, but I really don't. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think it's quite basic advice. There is a lot of times you should be pushing, and I think an important part of PvP is knowing when is right and when not to push. I think the average advice will just be, play your life, and you're going to end up getting better results. That is true. There is times you absolutely should be pushing. It is your responsibility to push. If you don't push, they could get a revive, for example. Or if you don't push, they capture the zone, you lose the round. I think a lot of it is awareness. There's map awareness. There is sort of just building game sense and knowing what's the right play to make at what time, which does come with practice, obviously. But I mean, the fundamentals is that PvP is actually really simple. A lot of people don't think about it until they play PvP a lot. So, say for example, if I had a guy weak over here, my fault. If I had a guy weak over here, and I shotgun him for 1 damage, that doesn't seem that important, right? I'm hitting 1 damage out of his 200 HP pool. That doesn't seem like it's a good use of my special ammo. But if he is low HP, I hit him for 1 damage, and that stops his recovery, I'm effectively doing way more than 1 damage, right? Because I'm stopping his health regenning while I'm regenning. That's going to give me way more than like 1 damage HP advantage in that fight. I think managing how much damage you've done to people is important, and I think that's something a lot of lower level players.
There's 2 aspects to fighting people: how much damage you've done to their health bar, and how much you have delayed the time of which their health bar will start coming back.
Exactly. So often, like, a lot of people think, okay, well, my special weapons are, these stronger weapons that can 1-hit kill. So I want to get really close and hit a shotgun shot every time, and I should always be getting kills with these weapons because they have a faster time to kill. Sure, that's true. If you're shotgunning well, you probably are going to get a bunch of 1-hit kills. But if you're using it to stop their regen and giving yourself effectively like a massive HP advantage in that fight because you've stopped them from getting their health back, that's still so valuable.
Gotcha.
Like, a lot of people say, why on earth are you shotgunning from there? Like, a lower level player will watch me just like shoot someone from so far away with my shotgun. But what I'm trying to do is delay their healing.
You're just trying to do any damage in any capacity whatsoever so that you reset their recovery time.
You do 1 point of damage that is really valuable to you in that fight if they're like we're about to start regenning. Which is obviously, it's not a super basic concept, and not a lot of people would instantly think that that's going to be super helpful, but learn over time. Stuff like that does just absolutely win you fights.
Gotcha. And so another one I heard you talk about today in your stream was radar. So walk me through that one.
Yeah, I mean, I played a lot of FPS games at a pretty good level, and I have never played a game that gives you as much free information as Destiny does. I genuinely believe I spend about 50% of my time looking at my radar and 50% of my time looking elsewhere on the screen. And right now, we just sit here, right? We have information, there's a guy down there. But you already know that. We know there's 2 people in that direction.
I can see where all 3 of them are just looking at my radar right now.
Exactly. It gives you so much information for free. the Destiny radar is so detailed in the sense that it also tells you how far away they are. And something else that's not like necessarily that well known is that the like shade of red also changes slightly based on verticality. You can tell if people are above or below you, which I don't think that many people even know is a thing.
So
like you get so much information just by
I have
learning
noticed a
to
little
read the
bit.
radar.
It's like it's either a faded red or a solid red. Which one's which?
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, a solid brighter red would normally be on the same level as you.
Okay.
And I
Same
believe it fades out
elevation.
a bit when, yeah, exactly. There's a lot of information that is always being given to the player, but a lot of newer PvP players or slightly lower skill PvP players don't actually just know how to read and process the information they're being given. But like instantly, so whilst I'm sliding chasing this guy, I'm looking at my radar and I see there's a guy behind me. So as soon as I kill this guy, I'm turning around and being ready to fight a guy behind me.
Right.
It's
Gotcha.
so rare that if you know how to read your radar, it's so rare that you won't know where the next person's coming from. But I just remember there was a Cauldron Trials weekend, and I remember at any of the 3 or any of the 4 doors into middle, you would always have a radar ping if you were playing middle. So it was genuinely, and Cauldron made it so clear to me, it is so difficult to flank in this game. Or at least, flank and not be known about.
Mm-hmm.
You can time it, you can do it well, you can catch people off guard, but it's normally, if you're catching someone off guard in this game, it's because you're picking the right timing rather than the right angle. So if I'm flanking someone, there's a good chance they know I'm there, but I wait until I know my teammate's fighting them, then I pinch them. It's 2v1, they can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it is timing rather than taking an angle because they do always just have that information.
Only played one game. I feel like I've played 100.
All right, so instantly we think, okay, the zone's over here. We want to get some presence over on the right side of the map. Radar pings. All 3 are over here.
Ooh.
Somebody's top middle.
So I think why I died there, and the next kind of subject I want to broach, and this is the one subject where I feel like I actually have some clue what I'm talking about, just because it's also just as important in PvE as it is in PvP. We just got done talking about like radar and radar, which I think is significantly more important in PvP than it is in PvE. But something that I've always understood that is, in my opinion, it's the most important thing in PvE, is always playing around a piece of cover that you can kind of fall back into.
Yeah,
and why I just died right there because I threw myself out in the open. I had no cover that I could run to. So now I'm kind of making sure that I'm in a spot where I kind of want to push this guy here because I saw you get him weak. He got a rift down and I just didn't push quick enough. So that's why.
Unfortunate. That it was. I think you kill him if it's not the
Yeah.
stag as well. It's damage resist rift.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, playing cover is hugely important, and also knowing how to use any sort of movement ability you have around cover is huge. I mean, hunters have that dodge, right? So if you're playing off cover, being able to dodge into that cover, or even just turn and quickly slide into that cover is huge. So we have a body down on B right now. I see a guy walking up on the left. He got tapped on the head once. He's probably not going to repeat now because he's 2 taps. So we're going to have a look for the other guy. See him up here.
Okay.
Challenge that guy. He's 1 HP. He's going to run away. So we're going to challenge the other guy because we know these people aren't fighting. This is like the recovery thing I was talking about. But I know these people are 1 HP. They're not going to repeat. So I have pretty much a safe time to challenge their
Gotcha.
teammate.
So in that situation, I got 2 tapped by the guy that flanked us on the left, and I was 1 shot. So another aspect that I learned very quickly in PvP from playing a lot of PvE is that I feel like 99% of the time, if you are weak and you know the other guy is anything other than 1 shot, like you do not want to peek under any circumstance.
Yeah. You want to try.
You need to let that health regenerate.
Yeah, we talk about, and it's more of just like the scrim players being funny and not taking the games that seriously. We talk about ego challenge. We call it ego challenge because you should never do it. It's stupid. You're pretty much sliding them and hoping that they whiff. If you're peeking someone when you're low HP. This guy's gonna get res for free. I can't stop it, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I put myself in a bad. I think the reason we lost that round right there is because you and I were in a 2v2, and I put myself in a position where I couldn't slide into cover if I got hit, and I did get hit a couple times. I wasn't close enough to cover to be able to get into a spot where I could regen. Because it's my understanding that the second that my body goes down, it automatically kind of puts that round into an unwinnable position for you.
Yeah, it becomes,
just because of the numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, I think if their res was in a better position, I could hold it down. It's winnable, but as soon as there's a 3,
so there's a guy
kind of
flanking behind us. But like you said with radar, like we know it's impossible.
Yeah, exactly. So we
So
instantly
now
just turn that guy. Now he's scared, and we look at the other guys.
Right.
And punish that guy for pushing.
He got punished for getting too ambitious for the flank because
exactly. This guy's very
maybe he's not quite as used to us looking at our radars as he is maybe against other people.
Yeah.
So
and a big thing with flanking is Invis Hunter is the one time you do have to kind of focus up and be wary of it, because Invis Hunter does go off radar. Yeah. You don't get that information for free.
I want to talk about that situation that just occurred where we were kind of 2v1ing that guy. I got him one shot, but he also got me one shot. And so what I did was I backed off a little bit to let you, my full HP teammate, push him. Is that the right call, or do I want to continue being aggressive with you even though I'm one bullet away from death?
That is 100% the right call. As long as you know that you have a teammate there with you, we have the advantage, right? There's no point in you trading when you know I'm in a close enough position to guarantee that we're getting that kill. Like, even if you just stood there, stopped playing, your mouse died, that guy was gonna die, realistically. Because I was right there with you. You had him 1 HP for me. So the only thing for you to do at that point is play your life. Because that guy is dead. He's in the wrong position. We have the numbers advantage because we were in slightly better team positions. So we want to play a little aggressive because they are capping the zone. So we're going to try to beat this stag guy. Teammate did get the reset, which is actually huge for us.
Our teammate went massive there playing aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. And the last guy was very low.
And so now you can get me up.
I can bet your res behind the corner and just keep peeking him so you don't die off spawn.
And then now here's where we want to push. We're not playing our lives here. We're 2v1, so let's... And he has a revive around him. Yep. I feel like our teammate right there is the one who kind of made the play, right? Getting aggressive.
You got him off the cap because we didn't have... You had a very limited time window. And that's what I was explaining about. It's not always playing your life.
I was just going to say that. It's interesting because he very much did not play his life there. He died for what he did, but I feel like if he didn't do what he did right there, we just lose the round to the zone.
Yeah, that is the round winning play.
Okay.
I'm going to get well down. Very often to deal with us on well.
I really want to play my life here getting into your well just so I can get the orbs of power, right? Like that's the number one thing right there for me. And so this guy with the cap zone, we can literally there is no reason to push this guy in any capacity.
There's nothing we need to do.
Because he is forced to come to us. Round. Yeah.
Unless he has a snow bomb, we win the round.
Right.
He ends up picking up his teammate, which is just more super energy for you guys because you get extra kills.
I noticed that a lot where I feel like when people have a numbers advantage and they have a revive near the zone and they have full control of the zone, they kind of throw the round by going and getting greedy for the other kills on the other guys.
Yeah, realistically, I do the same all the time because I play this game a lot. I have the confidence to be pushing and thinking I'm going to win these fights, but the correct play to make there, 100% cap the zone. We have a well of radiance on the zone, constant healing. We don't have to do anything there, realistically.
Ooh, I can't believe I killed that guy from that far away with the shotgun.
I've just got 2-tapped. I have a decision. Do I want to go res you or take the 1v1 here? He has a super, but he left this res. Now I pick this up, and we see if we can 2v1 the revive. I know my teammate's on a Strand Hunter. Hopefully he can suspend him, and that's potentially a play we can make, but we have to do it kind of fast. He tried to suspend, he didn't get it, it's unlucky. But stasis is insanely good, because if you hit the full pellet, you freeze someone, the melee is going to finish him.
That's the conditional finality angle right there, right?
That's why we run conditional. You hit
That's
every pellet,
that.
you can beat those supers. Alright, so instantly we see these loadouts. This is going to be a fun game, because they have what is, without a doubt, the strongest in the game right now. They have Titan with Peacekeepers, SMGs. They get crazy strafe speed, really good time to kill up close, and they're probably going to push us with an overshield. What's
going on with Illumina? Yeah. Is that a thing, or is this guy feeling a little funky?
Not really a thing. I mean, I think it's it's a supportive play style. You know, if you're trying to help someone out and you think maybe you have a stronger player on your team, you'll run Lumina, give them that damage buff. It might help them out in their fights. So I have a nade on this guy. He's burning. This should be a free kill. But that guy. Two of them, and the last guy was 1 HP, really close, and teammate got the finish.
Teammate mopped him up, yeah.
But a big part of that was knowing I had this guy weak. I know this close guy who went to the right, that teammate ended up killing, isn't going to reslide me, because I double tapped him with a 120, and he burned.
Okay, so I see someone sweeping us on our left.
Yeah, so I went to the left, we're going to have a look again.
Yeah, he got greedy. And so now I'm looking at my radar, I see there's one kind of right behind us.
Yeah, and we know the heavy spawn's over there, so the guy to the right has a grenade launcher, as we see in the feed, so we want to play kind of careful for that grenade launcher. And
we want to try to hold this orb if we can, but him having heavy might just allow him to get him for free.
So I've rotated here, and I now have a different angle on the orb. So
Me
now
too.
we can still hold the orb, and it's not quite as
see it
big
as
of a
well.
concern. Put a nade on it. We
Yeah,
can't
I'm
grab
gonna let
it.
myself regen. I don't want to peek this yet because I want my health to be full.
So he grabs the orb.
Okay.
He's 1 HP, and there you go. You got another kill. So it's
Yep.
not even a reset.
Yep, we managed because they had to play a little aggressive with their numbers disadvantage. I got a little.
That right there is what I was talking about with timing. My flank, he knew what I was doing, but you're fighting him, so the timing of my fight makes it a free.
So like, sure, maybe I should have played a little bit safer, but like challenging him is the correct thing right there because there's no way that he beats me and then can turn around and beat you because the health bars are just too different.
He's not going to 180 unless I completely whiff. Which
like it's just math. He got out mathed.
But these guys
Oh, that guy's fully regened. His health just spiked up. But you're in a not terrible position. Okay.
Yeah,
so what should our teammate
dropped.
have done there? Because he got really aggressive. Was that the right play there?
Slow with me and look for a primary kill. I think trying to force a special kill is dangerous there.
A little greedy.
So realistically, the play here for me to do is this round shouldn't be winnable. I should just die, like mathematically. But they're playing it kind of badly and giving me picks, so it is going to become maybe winnable. He got off the zone, which is really stupid. Could have just won that by capping.
Right. Yeah. So
like
they did that exact thing that we were talking about previously, where all they had to do there was they had our reses in a good position and they had control of the zone. All they had to do there was sit there and force you to walk into them. But instead, what they did is they sent people at you one at a time that let you pick them off.
Yeah, exactly. Mid clutch explained this isn't like what you should try to replicate.
Right.
What realistically the average player should be doing there is dying as fast as possible, so the other team aren't charging 2 bubbles in a well because they're the fastest supers in the game.
Interesting.
And I said that at the start of the clutch, like what I should do probably here is die.
Oh, I thought you meant that in a sense of like, there's no world in which you should ever be able to win this round.
Exactly, but I meant.
But there is. Well, if they play it properly, there is no world where you should be able to win that.
Exactly, but the idea of dying fast, and you'll often, if you're looking in like mine or pure stream, you'll hear us say play fast. That just means it's very unlikely you're going to win. You could try and make a play, just challenge, but you want to get it over with fast because they're charging 3 supers, which we don't want to give them.
If you are going to go for the clutch, like make it quick. And then obviously if you get like 2 picks and then you're in a one-on-one situation, then you can slow down the play a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And as soon as I saw that guy, the zone was so nearly capped, but he hadn't quite finished it. All I want to do is dash to the zone, completely get on it. Because the second I step on that zone, it's reset. And he's lost all that progress.
We've been talking a lot of how to play reactionary to certain situations, which I feel like PvP is mostly reactionary. But I think the better you get at PvP, the more proactive you're allowed to be, and the more you're allowed to make plays in a neutral state to create advantages for yourself. So can you kind of talk to me about how you generally look to create advantages?
I think a lot of it is situation dependent. Like this guy is giving us an advantage by giving us that kill. I now have 2 stacks of precision instrument. I know I'm chunking out big damage. So I will feel way more aggressive using a weapon like this. But in general, I think map knowledge is huge. Knowing what angles are advantageous. You know, there's certain head glitches. This is a brand new map, and I'll show you some angles that I will, if I'm given the opportunity to fight from a specific angle, I will always take it. And I've already learned a couple on this map because I know they are such advantageous angles. If you come right real quick, this really isn't smart because I'm going away from the zone.
That's okay.
But if I see people fighting up here, there is a small little icicle right here. I always hop on. This is a perfect head glitch. You can peek, crouch, you are fully safe. This is like the biggest possible advantage.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's map knowledge. I will, if I'm given the chance to take a fight from there, I will always take it because I know I have such a big advantage. I can always have like a perfect way to hide.
Ooh.
And even when I'm peeking, they can only see my head, and I can still not peek. We have the first super, we fly in, we well. That should be GG.
Now, of course, they can still come in with a conditional, and you know.
They can. But we definitely want to be aware. We know there's a guy flanking all the way outside, and there's a guy in the top window.
Yeah, but from a numbers perspective, this is. This
I also stuck him with a nade.
Pretty unwinnable for him.
Shouldn't be doing this, but I know he's stuck and can't do much. So. No, I'll just come back.
But okay, so I like that you said that. You knew you shouldn't be doing it, but like you knew he was one shot. But like the second that you saw that he was running a little bit further away, you knew when to call it and say, okay, I'm getting too greedy pushing this guy. I know where my win condition is. It's, you know, I would have loved to kill him and wrap things up a little bit early, maybe feed the ego a little bit, but it's time to turn around and get back to what I know is going to win the round. So yeah, so I wanted to use this now to talk about, you know, playing from a neutral state, getting picks, creating advantages for yourselves. Talk me through like what you want to be looking for when you're trying to do those things.
A big part of it is, oh wow, I just got a pick. A big part of it is knowing what angle is advantageous. So something like that head glitch I showed you, if you get on there, you're very likely to get the kill. The big part of it is almost managing damage. Because I'm always using a hand cannon, I know if I'm playing near a wall, I peek, headshot him, and I have an HP advantage instantly. I can hide, I can keep repeaking, and I'm likely to get a pick. I think that's a huge strength of hand cannons, is the ability to get a pick, because you are chunking out just big chunks of damage very fast. And it's not to say you can only do it with a hand cannon, but I think that is inherently one of a hand cannon's biggest strengths. High risk, high reward.
So it really is all about playing around those health bar discrepancies and recovery time discrepancies. That's how you generate picks.
Exactly.
Okay.
And just creating windows for you to push. This guy has me weak, so I'm just not fighting him. Because if I fight him, then he gets a pick.
And I'm trying to back you up here. I'm hoping he gets a little greedy and tries to get after you while you're weak, and then I can hopefully help you clean him up. I'm also keeping my eye on my radar, though. It's a big thing, and I see someone kind of far to my left.
I got him.
So now I see you have that pick. So now we kind of want to play around the orb.
Yep. So we want to play this zone because of the new trials.
Yep.
This guy's 1 HP up top. We can start capping.
We don't really want to push our teammate because then we give him an angle to fight us. So let's just we stay on our win con right now. Forces him to push us.
Run it down. Now we win the round.
Yep. All right. So it really does all circle back to what does your health bar look like versus what does the other guy's health bar look like. I mean, like that sounds like an obvious thing to say in a PvP capacity, but I mean, as someone who I feel like I understand the game pretty well, like I didn't realize how much emphasis was put onto how important that discrepancy is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, Jake. I have seen Jake play this game for about 7 years and not take one musk off, because it is just a way to give you that HP boost. Like, just having that health advantage is so unbelievably important. Especially now, so that there's less special ammo. It was a bit different back when people had 20 sniper bullets around and you could always be one hit, but now it is so important. Now there's a bit more primary focus.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why bubble is just such a headache right now, because an on-demand overshield whenever you want it, as I'm sure is becoming more and more apparent to you, that is such an absurdly powerful part of the kit. Alright, so they have a machine gun you want to watch out for.
Yeah, but so I have an orb over here, and we have the cap zone in our possession. So
yeah, exactly.
What you're doing over there, where you're fighting, where like I know you 1v2'd them, but like, would it have been better for you to just rush back to us and play with us so we can maintain our numbers advantage along with the orb that we have down and the cap zone? Or
absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So me going over there at the very beginning of the round is the right play, because heavy ammo is very, very important. It's only one round. Normally, the person who gets the heavy should be winning that round, right? It's very easy to get kills with heavy. So I'm going over there to challenge heavy, whether I just keep them off it, whether I contest it, whether I find a 1v1 over there, kill him and get it for us. Like, challenging heavy is going to make the round more likely to be won from us. But after there was 2 alive, they had heavy, they were both full HP. You are completely correct. I should have run back to you guys. And just played the 3v2. So you had a body over there as well, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, it's insane. Like, all I'm worrying about is like, it's funny. As I started talking about it, I stopped doing what I was just gonna say. But all I'm trying to worry about now is look at my HP bar. Yeah. If I like, do I think I have a discrepancy in my HP bar between me and the other guy? If the answer is yes, like I'm not fighting him. I'm not taking the risk. I'm not taking the chance. I only want to fight people if I know that my health bar is either equal to theirs or higher than theirs.
Yeah,
because then I'm in control of the situation.
Exactly. There is a small factor of kind of micromanaging just game sense of what the other people's abilities are. Like right there, I know that Warlock is not on Healing Rift, he's on Phoenix Dive. So he does have the ability, like while I'm pushing, to give himself a quick burst of healing, which could completely close that HP advantage up. And Wormhusk is very similar. So right now, once again.
I think I should have died there because I was pushed too far out, but I think that got kind of let me out a little bit.
Pretty much nothing they can do.
Yeah, because you have the Well of Radiance on here. Yep. Gotcha. So, and not to suggest that it's easy, but I mean, at its core, PvP is actually, what I'm understanding, is simple.
It is fairly simple. You're fed a lot of information given the radar, the HP bars, and it's kind of, I mean, a big part of it's mechanics. Mechanics are definitely more intensive in PvP than PvE, in my opinion.
For sure, yeah, having good aim, having good movement, things of that nature, without a doubt, right?
Yeah, in terms of decision making though, it is all just how you process that feedback and the decisions you make. They normally are very calculated decisions.
Would it be a correct statement to make that the entirety of PvP has to do with what you do with your radar information and what you do with your health bar information?
I think everything you make, every play you make should be, like, that should be factored into it. So I don't think you should be blindly ever running around corners. You should always think, okay, well, I see a guy over here. I only see one ping, so I'll take this fight. I hear two people fighting you now across the map, so I know this guy has to be alone. That's all just information that's being fed to me without me even shooting a bullet or seeing anyone. I now know I have a 1v1 with this guy, and I'm confident to take that 1v1. I know they're up on you, so the heavy ammo's free. I'll grab the heavy. You managed to get that kill, and here we go, 3v1. So this guy can't do anything. It's all so, like, reactionary.
Right. I didn't hear much of that. I was running away from two of them the entire time, and I was scared. So I'll watch that back and see what you said.
All right, so the zone's right. Definitely want to contest right straight away.
Yep.
So 1-2 tap.
Yeah, so our teammate got frozen. I tried to peek out so that the guy didn't have just a free angle to spray him. Then our teammate actually froze the other guy.
Oh, Shadebinder v Shadebinder.
Yeah, I know.
It's the meta.
Okay, I'm in a bad spot.
They're actually cutting through middle here. That Warlock is one.
Ooh. Made the best of a bad situation.
Go. Oh, that's huge getting a trade there. That guy's looking for a pinch on you and trying to time his fight. So trying to get a free kill on you and getting a trade there is huge.
Oh, did they lose one? In a bad spot, I'm running.
Yeah, so right here, we see the zone. We have complete control of the zone.
Woo!
No need to fight over there.
A little fast there.
Down.
Yeah.
They have no time to push. We won the round already.
Yep.
And a big thing is also, if you're in a position like that where you do have 3 alive and you have complete control of the zone, stacking, you don't always want to do it because you could all get hit by a crazy grenade, but stacking will cap faster.
Or a cloud strike or something like that.
All right, final round. I'm sitting back. I want to see Mac and Ty win the 2v2.
I'm gonna let him die and then I'll 1v2. Show what I've learned. Okay. Let's see. Looking at radar. Just looking at those red pins.
Pushing me, bro. Leave me alone. I'm trying to chill.
Yeah, you're not allowed to shoot him. I used you as a distraction. Does that count?
No.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch this orb.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, so
talk about a hang cannon.
I think that's the biggest, and like I knew this from PvE already. Wiggling in and out of cover while you're shooting stuff, gigantic. Well, on our little jog to the flawless chest.
We made it.
Where can people find you?
Twitch TV/Benny. I live stream at most days when I'm not being a part-timer. And my YouTube is, I don't even know what my YouTube link is. I think I am Benny Schmurder, something like that.
Yeah. Destiny 2 Benny in the search bar will probably
that'll find
you. Good stuff. Well, thanks for hanging with me. Maybe we'll do it again if people like it. We'll do a little round 2. Some more advanced
bro.
stuff.
Always a
better.
pleasure.
Cool. Thanks for hanging, buddy. Catch you next time.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thanks.